I own almost every mainstream handheld worth buying, from $105 all the way up to $2,000. And after using them daily, honestly, the $2,000 one's not even the one I'm grabbing. That actually stays home quite a bit. So I'm here to tell you which handheld is actually gonna be the best, so stay till the end. But let's go ahead and get right into this Mangmi Air X, an Android device. If you haven't jumped into the handheld space yet and you're curious about this, I recommend this or the PlayStation Portal as a good entry point. But this one is a little bit more advanced in a way because it requires a little bit more tinkering. But look at the ergonomics on this thing. It's not the greatest, but this is definitely a portable device. This is one you're actually gonna feel comfortable sticking in your pocket or sticking in your backpack easily. It's so easy to carry. It doesn't weigh anything at all. It's got a Qualcomm Snapdragon 6X2 processor in there. So that's an Android processor. So compared to all these other devices, it's not the same. It's got different internals. It's almost just using like an Android phone, flipped on its side with Joy-Cons, but more geared towards gaming. And one thing I like about Mangmi is they already preloaded some of these emulation apps on here to make things easier for you. But for the best guide on that, I believe that you should go to RetroCorpse because he gives one of the best tutorials, in my opinion, to set this up, especially for beginners. But this device is really cool because it brings back so many memories with retro games and PSP games. And again, a lot of these things, which I can't explain to you how to get, just follow RetroCorp's tutorial. You can get these things called ROMs, which rhymes with moms, and I believe you will have tons of fun with this. This thing also has a 5,000 watt battery, meaning it's gonna last a good while and you get a lot of gameplay out of it for such a small device. And it has USB-C fast charging. Now, the speaker on this thing is on the back end, which is not front facing. However, they're actually really loud on this thing, and it's louder than the PSP I remember having when I was younger. And again, just same form factor, super easy to just stick in your pocket. One thing I like about it too, it has RGB Hall effect joysticks, which you typically don't get joysticks like that until you jump into higher tier handhelds like the Lenovo Legion Go 2 or even the ROG Xbox Ally X. So that's got that going for it too. And another thing on this, it's definitely the smallest screen out of all the handhelds that I own, sitting at a 5.5 inch display, but it is a 1080p IPS display. So it has 1080p on here. I'm telling you, a lot of your games, especially with the hacks that RetroCorpse shows you how to install, you get very good visuals on this Mangmi Air X. This device is really cool. I decided to change it up. It's got 3 colorways. You can see black, a white, and then this retro color that I decided to choose. And you can also see on their website, their main goal is to just bring budget handheld devices to you guys. So I definitely recommend checking this one out. It is a sponsored device. However, like I've said before, I don't take any deals that I can't talk freely about. And I've denied multiple brand deals because of that. So anyways, I want to stay loyal to you guys, but let's jump over to the next one. This is another device that I recommend if you're trying to get into the handheld space. Now, if you're just trying to test the waters and see if this is even what you like, consider a PlayStation Portal for maybe a year because it's gonna kind of show you what the handheld world's like. Unlike the Mangmi Air X that requires a lot of tinkering to get it set up with emulation and ROMs, this one's a little bit more mainstream and already set up. All you have to do is buy a subscription like you would a Netflix subscription, and then you can play a lot of PlayStation's library. That subscription is roughly around $20, and it comes with a lot. It comes with exclusives, and that's exactly how I actually am planning to use this device, since PlayStation is talking about maybe considering not putting exclusives first directly on PC. At least that's the rumor. I'm keeping this by my side to play those exclusives like God of War or Last of Us or main games like that, like Uncharted, that they used to put on PlayStation only before putting out on PC. So that's how I'm gonna use the device. Also, I love the screen on it. I love the ergonomics. I think PlayStation controllers feel good. I do feel like it's a little too wide, but I think the PlayStation Portal is a phenomenal device. It's definitely underrated in my opinion. For $250 to try to figure out if this handheld space is even for you, I think it's a great start. I think you should definitely check it out. It comes in multiple different colorways and collector editions, like a gray. I have the black version, the white's the original. I think it looks really good and you can play tons of games. But I also do have to mention this device is honestly dead without internet. And that's where the Mangmi Air X stands out, being $105, that you can play it without internet once you get it all set up. The PlayStation Portal, you cannot whatsoever. So for $250, if you don't have stable internet or internet at all, you're not gonna be able to play anything on here. And at one point, you could only use it with the PlayStation 5, but luckily they did update the software where you can actually use it as a standalone device. Again, it's dead without internet though. So let's jump over to the Nintendo Switch. This is actually one of my favorite handhelds, and one of the handhelds that I pick up most actually. I picked this up because I love to play with my son. I love the exclusive games on it. It's just tons of fun. Super easy to pick up too. I love the UI. It's super simple. It's easy to just turn on, start your game, plug it up to a dock, you're on a TV, you're done playing on the TV, you undock, and you're back in the same portion of your game, handheld. And that's what I love about the Nintendo Switch. I think they did a really good job doing that. It's the perfect, what I consider hybrid handheld console. Some people consider it a console, but if you were to break it down, it is a handheld, it is a console, and I think they did a great job. And I believe a lot of you guys are actually trying to figure out how to replace your console or figure out a companion that almost feels like console-like. So in my case, I actually don't own a PC or a console anymore. These devices act as that for me. I am able to use it as a console. One's in my living room, one's in my office, one I plug in on this 49-inch monitor and playing competitively. These things just can do so much, and that's what I love about these handhelds, which you can see on my channel if you want. But the Nintendo Switch is super easy. I love the Joy-Cons, how you can take them off and just play with friends if you're playing Mario Party. This is one of the devices that have so many vendors behind it, just making products for it all the time, whether it's Joy-Cons, cases, new Joy-Cons, skins, all sorts of things for the Nintendo Switch. It's just one of those devices that's super popular, and you're always gonna have people trying to make things for it. And Nintendo Switch typically doesn't release a new version of the Nintendo Switch for a while, so you are gonna get a lot out of it. Now, my only gripe with this is the game catalog. I don't think it's not big yet, and you can't play a lot of the mainstream games that are out there, like if you wanted to play God of War or something like that. However, this is the first time that I've ever seen bigger titles like Resident Evil or Pragmata jump on this thing. So I know Nintendo Switch is trying to go that way, and this device actually runs it really good. Those games are actually demanding, and the fact that the Nintendo Switch can actually handle it is a huge surprise. But if my only gripe, honestly, really would be, I wish it had an OLED, even though the screen looks really good already. It's one of my bigger screens out of these devices, and that the game catalog was just a little bigger, because a lot of these games are still old Switch games that I play. But last note on that, if you've never owned a Nintendo Switch at all, it's gonna feel brand new, and you're gonna feel like you have so many games and so many exclusives, so many Mario, Donkey Kong things that you can play. So Nintendo Switch, I think it's a great pickup for $449. And again, don't forget, September 1st is jumping up to $500, so get your discount while you can now. The next one, this is the Steam Deck OLED. I'm telling you, I bought this because I saw so many YouTube videos out there about how the Steam Deck is still one of the best devices, being 5 years old. So I purchased it. I purchased it to put it up against the Lenovo Legion Go 2. And honestly, although it's not better than the Lenovo Legion Go 2, it really shocked me. The user interface on the Steam Deck is hands down the best in my opinion. The sleep function on it, the wake function on it, the way the games are organized. Valve did a phenomenal job of just building this machine. It feels good, it feels like quality. I think the OLED screen looks really good on this device, and I'm telling you, this is the best console feel-like experience for a handheld in my opinion. Right up there with the Nintendo Switch, actually a little better. And the game catalog on it, it's Steam. There's so many games that you can play and so many discounts on games all the time. Like Red Dead Redemption 2, I got for $19. I was playing through that on this device. And being Steam, I can also play it on my Lenovo Legion Go 2. I can also play it on my ROG Xbox Ally X. And honestly, I can also even play it on this Mangmi Air X because it has a Steam Link option to it. So there's so many ways to be able to play this device, and that's what I love about it. Not only that, if you do have a PC, you can stream directly to the Steam Deck, and now you get better graphics. It looks really good. It's just like using any of those streaming platforms on the PlayStation Portal, Nvidia, Moonlight, those type of things. I think the Steam Deck just does a really good job. Now, my only gripe on this is the price hike that they recently had. I think this device is one of the best pickups that you could have had, and now it's hard for me to say that being at a high price at $749 for a 5-year-old device. There's some games that can't run on this thing. That's another gripe of mine, like Crimson Desert required tons and tons of tweaking to get to run on this thing. However, I was able to get it to run, just not as smooth as these heavy hitters like the ROG Xbox Ally X and the Lenovo Legion Go 2. But the Steam Deck OLED, I think, again, really good device if you can buy it used and back to closer to its original price. And hopefully if the economy just kind of starts settling, I can recommend this again. But hands down, the best console feel like handheld and the best user interface, no doubt. Now, this next handheld that I'm about to talk to you about is the ROG Xbox Ally X. This is $1,000, one of the only devices that hasn't had their price hike yet here in the United States. And I know they've had it in Europe, and I know they've had it in Japan, so I'm figuring that it's about to come over here to the United States too, so get your discount while you can. But this device is one of those devices that I'm actually picking up more than I even expected. I was gifted this by a friend for my birthday, and I know that's not normal. A lot of y'all comment, I need friends like that, but this has been my best friend since literally the first grade, and we're set in our careers. But anyways, this device right here is honestly the handheld that I'm picking up most. And that's probably because of the type of games that I like to play. I love to play shooters, I love to play Warzone, Apex, games like that. And this device is different because I can actually play straight up on this handheld. A lot of my other devices kind of feels awkward, or I need to plug in some kind of other peripheral, whether that's an Xbox controller or an external monitor, just to get the feel that I want. But this ROG Xbox Ally X just does it right. Now, it doesn't have the best user interface as far as the Steam Deck goes and the Nintendo Switch goes, but the Xbox mode, or full screen experience as they used to call it, it's getting better. And it works the best on this device because I know you can put it on the Lenovo Legion Go 2 or any other Windows device, but it works the best on this device, and it works really good. It makes it truly feel like an Xbox. I'm coming from an Xbox console too, so me saying that is not biased. It's actually being more harsh on it because I'm like, okay, I came from an Xbox, I need it to feel like an Xbox. And sure enough, it really does. They did a phenomenal job on the ergonomics. It looks and feels just like an Xbox controller. And I'm telling you, despite the screen, this is one of my biggest nags on this thing, is that screen. After a couple games, I get so immersed. It is hard coming from a Lenovo Legion Go 2 or even a Nintendo Switch to this ROG Xbox Ally X, but because of their ergonomics and how it's played, it feels really good. The speakers on this thing also front facing, and they're the best speakers out of all these handhelds. I think they did a great job here, and I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. This is probably the handheld that I recommend most now, especially with the Steam Deck's price hike, because this handheld is just, it does it all. It's powerful, it has the latest chips in it, it's gonna last you a while, you can plug it up to a monitor, and it actually gives you that hybrid-like handheld console mix that most people are looking for, because all you have to do is hook it up to a dock. In my case, I have this JSOX dock, plug it onto the screen, you're playing on the screen. When you unhook, you're back in your game right in your handheld. My Lenovo Legion Go 2 doesn't do that. It actually crashes every time I unplug and whatnot. This setup also allows you to use an eGPU, which is super, super cool because you're able to play all those heavy hitter games at higher resolutions. And for my case, the screen behind me, that 49-inch monitor, is super demanding. It's an OLED 240 Hertz, 1 millisecond response time. So just plugging it straight up to that monitor, it struggles. But when I plug it into an eGPU and then that monitor, it does great. However, a TV, anything 1080p, anything 4K, it does really good already, but for some reason this monitor, it needs a little bit more, and it does great with the eGPU setup. So the ROG Xbox Ally X, huge fan. I love the support behind Xbox and the new CEO as well, and then Xbox Game Pass, Steam, all those things, you can play it on here. It's a Windows PC pretty much, but they did a great job masking Windows and making it feel like a console. So I'm a big fan of this ROG Xbox Ally X. And it was hard for me to say first because I was such a loyalist to the Lenovo Legion Go 2. But other than playing my AAA games on it, I don't touch my Lenovo Legion Go 2 anymore. So let's go ahead and talk about that. This thing jumped to $2,000 from originally $349.99. So almost let's say $1,400 up to $2,000. That's a little bit more than the RAM price hike in my opinion. I think they're trying to squeeze out what they can out of us consumers, and they did a good job of it, and people are still buying it. And honestly, because of the hype, I was still chasing after it. And if it would have jumped up to $2,000, I would have probably tried to figure out how to get that thing in my hands. But the Lenovo Legion Go 2, honestly, it still is my favorite device as far as quality and the feel. I love the premium feel of it. I think the Lenovo Legion Go 2, hands down, has the best screen. It's OLED, it's 144 Hertz. It's just so nice. This is where I decide to play my single player games like Elden Ring, Red Dead Redemption, Cyberpunk, anything like that. I love playing on this Lenovo Legion Go 2. I pop up Pragmata on it. I want to play some Resident Evil on it. This is my go-to device for that. It's just so nice, it's so good. However, I've said this before at my past videos, I cannot play shooters on this thing. I just over-aim, it doesn't feel comfortable. Ergonomically, it's not bad, but it's not as immersive as that ROG Xbox Ally X. So this Lenovo Legion Go 2 underscores for me on that portion of it. However, when it comes to story mode game and wanting to play something on there, I think it's good. This device also works well with the eGPU setup. It actually works better than the ROG Xbox Ally X. For some reason, Lenovo just pairs well with the eGPU, and that's actually my preferred combo is eGPU and Lenovo Legion Go 2 on this 49-inch monitor. So if I had any gripes on this device, it's honestly the price, because I don't even travel with it. I don't want to break this thing. They're still sold out pretty much everywhere. And other than that, I wish they could just work on the ergonomics just a little bit more on the Lenovo Legion Go 2, because I would be playing my shooters on that, but I don't because of the ergonomics. So just a quick recap, we have the Mangmi Air X at $105. We have the PlayStation Portal at $250. We have the Nintendo Switch sitting at $450, September 1st being $500. The Steam Deck OLED you have at $750, and for a 1 terabyte, I think $950. Then you have the ROG Xbox Ally X sitting at $1,000, and the Lenovo Legion Go 2 Z2 Extreme at $2,000. Now, quick bonus, how I use these, how one doesn't collect dust, because I've had that before. I've had devices where they just collect dust. This is how I use them real quick. The Mangmi Air X is strictly for my emulation on older retro games like the PSP or anything PlayStation 1, anything like that. The PlayStation Portal is more for my PlayStation exclusives, so I can still touch that PlayStation Portal and not let it collect dust. Then you have my Nintendo Switch, which is Nintendo exclusives. I play a lot of Donkey Kong Bonanza or Mario Odyssey, games like that on there. The Steam Deck OLED is my indie games, lower tier games, and some emulation on there as well. Then the ROG Xbox Ally X is Warzone, Battlefield 6, Apex, my shooters, Call of Duty, as you know. And then the Lenovo Legion Go 2 is my single AAA games like Pragmata, Red Dead Redemption, Elden Ring, and whatnot. And if you enjoyed this video and you stuck it through this far, please push that subscribe button. We recently got monetized on YouTube, and that's because of you, so thank you so much. Honestly, doing this for you guys. I'm hoping to just help you make your purchase, and if you have any questions, I stay super engaged in the comments, so just reach out, ask me any questions and what kind of videos you want to watch. I'm working on some eGPU stuff, that way you can see these devices with eGPUs. But other than that, again, please push that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you.